Why rich people don't wear luxury.
Louis Vuitton, Dior, Saint Laurent, Gucci. These are just some of the brands belonging to major luxury conglomerates LVMH and Kering. Positioned at the forefront of the global luxury market, these conglomerates are hugely responsible for the industry's staggering $397 billion market valuation.
That's huge.
From clothing and handbags to jewelry and watches, these conglomerates, alongside a few independent houses, stand as the driving forces behind the most coveted and elite luxury products. This industry is a powerhouse. Just to provide you with further insight, LVMH CEO Bernard Arnault, whose estimated net worth is $200 billion, made his first appearance on the Forbes billionaire list in 1997. The conglomerateur briefly even claimed the title of the richest person alive in April, surpassing tech giant Elon Musk.
Whoa, that's insane. But look, he doesn't wear any branded clothes. Look at his clothes. He's not a billboard for his own product. He's not dripped out in Gucci. He's not dripped out in Burberry. Just a regular suit. Elegant.
Of the richest person alive in April, surpassing tech giant Elon Musk.
Even Elon Musk, look at his tux. No brands, nothing. Because why? He's not a billboard.
But who exactly makes up the clientele of these huge conglomerates? Who shoulders the weight of that giant $397 billion valuation? Is it the elite? The upper class? Surprisingly, no. It's predominantly the upper middle class that sustains the industry. Jean-Jacques Guiony, the chief financial officer at LVMH, stated to the Financial Times in July, "We don't sell most Louis Vuitton products to rich people. It is to people who have money and want to indulge themselves." So the question becomes, why aren't the mega rich immersing themselves into this industry as enthusiastically as their middle class counterparts? Why are they denying themselves those sweet, sweet offerings from Louis Vuitton or Saint Laurent? Why are the 1% not buying luxury?
Because the 1% knows when you buy luxury, quote unquote luxury, it's not an asset. They got to 1% for a reason, because they buy assets, things that go up in value. You buy a piece of clothes, like, dude, why? It's only worth, like, I don't know, with all the marketing, at most, a t-shirt maybe like 20 to 50 bucks. Nothing more. But the rest, dude, that's all profit.
But before we answer those questions, let's define what a luxury product actually is.
I always wonder what the process is, like creating these pieces.
Oh yeah, these celebrities, they're being paid to wear these. They're not buying it themselves. They're getting paid to wear it. That's different.
Almost looks like the universe, you know?
There is a life inside.
Absolutely.
While there are lots, and I mean a lot, of definitions for what qualifies a product to be considered luxury, the most common criteria usually comes down to three things. A premium price point that creates a high barrier to entry.
Yeah, if Gucci started charging $50 a t-shirt, people don't want it. You know, they want to pay $100. They want to pay $1,000. You know, if you go to Walmart, you see a t-shirt for, I don't know, $5, $10. Like, yeah, it's there, but because it's just there, you don't want it. You want something you can't have.
Incredible craftsmanship with exceptional attention to detail and a distinct capability to...
Yeah, I don't know about incredible attention to detail. Some of these shirts, even though it's like a couple $100, dude, there's loose threads, bad material, it's ripped. Like, look at Balenciaga. It's all ripped, has a bunch of stains on it, and they still charge $1,000 and people still buy it.
Function as a symbol denoting wealth, and more specifically, distinction. All successful brands within the realm of luxury
think she's wearing her necklace backwards.
are able to offer these services.
Oh,
in
there
one
you
way or
go.
another. That being said, there is still a complex hierarchical web at play. So let's begin at the basic level by categorizing them into financial groups. The biggest luxury houses, the ones that come to mind when most people picture luxury, fall into the category we'll refer to as the major league. Examples in this league include Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci, and Chanel. All these brands either already have or are on track to achieve annual revenues of $10 billion. The standout in this group is undoubtedly LVMH's Louis Vuitton, which this year made history as the first luxury fashion brand to attain an annual revenue of $20 billion. These brands, as
Yeah, all these celebrities, they're being paid to wear it. They didn't go out and buy it. Maybe occasionally they wanted to, but they don't have to. They're getting paid to wear things, and they just get to keep it.
head of their industry, typically lead the trends that we see both on the runway and on the streets. Their mission goes beyond merely creating luxury. They strive to push the boundaries of creativity itself. The next group of luxury houses is what we'll refer to as the minor league. Most luxury brands find their places in this category, but even in this league, there is a spectrum, both financial and creative. Some brands are well known to the general public, whereas others are more obscure, limited to fashion enthusiasts and people with enough money to buy luxury products.
Can you please spell Gabbana? Hello?
The more well-known and financially successful brands in this group generate around $2 to $5 billion
Whoa, is that a runway? It's like around a castle. That's pretty fire.
in annual revenue. A few brands
that.
in this section are Celine, Saint Laurent, Armani, and Balenciaga. This subdivision in the minor league mirrors the major league in that, similar to most major league brands, some are very much interested in a boundary-pushing and more artistic vision of fashion. But it differs in that certain brands focus more on maintaining a traditional identity, aiming to conserve specific codes of dress. The other half of the minor league is made up of brands not widely recognized by the general public, but still hold prominence within the fashion industry. These brands cultivate their own niche of luxury consumers and typically generate annual revenues under $2 billion. Examples in this group include Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli,
Whoa, what? Loro Piana? Loro Piana is a huge trend right now. They're like, oh, old money. Everyone's hopping on old money now.
Bottega Veneta, and Loewe.
What?
Most of these brands
I've
fall
never
under
heard
the
of that.
category of quiet luxury. This will be important later. But some brands like Bottega Veneta and Loewe are typically considered to be artistic rather than traditional houses. Despite this, both brands are still associated to the rigid quiet luxury movement because they offer products that align with the style's philosophy. Both brands seem to have ambitions of transitioning to the other half of the minor league, aiming to generate over $2 billion in revenue in the coming years and attain broader recognition beyond their niche. An example of a transformation of this type can be found in Celine. Under Hedi Sliman's stewardship, the French house went from being a relatively niche $500 million brand to a global powerhouse, raking in over $2 billion in revenue annually.
Congratulations to Hedi. I mean, like, he always, put effort, like hard works, and tonight is amazing.
Okay, now that we've outlined a general idea of the categories, we can begin to answer our initial question. Why aren't the 1% buying into luxury?
Because it's a liability. It's an expense. You buy it. It's like a shirt, right? Costs $6 at Walmart. You buy a shirt for $1,000. It's the same shirt. Serves the same purpose. Maybe one, you get more people that admire you, but it's for the wrong reason. They're like, oh, he has money. It's for the wrong reason.
Well, they are, but they aren't. Remember when I said luxury categorization is sort of like a web? This is where that idea comes into play. Most rich people in America and Europe, and when I say rich, I mean the top.
Whoa, hold on, go back.
Most rich.
Hold on, go back. Look, people say like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg, his t-shirt, he wears the same gray t-shirt, right? Apparently, there's some memes about it. His shirt is actually like $1,000. It's Brunello Cucinelli. I was like, what the? No way. Everyone's like, oh, it's wearing $6 t-shirts. It's $1,000. That's makes me wonder if Bill Gates has, I don't know, $2,000 in his outfit.
Rich people in America and Europe, and when I say rich, I mean the top upper class, opts to not invest in major league brands when shopping for luxury goods. Instead, they spend their money on select minor league brands, with a few exceptions that we'll touch on later, that all fall within or intersect with the realm of quiet luxury. Quiet luxury is a fashion aesthetic coined to challenge the typical style associated to wealthy groups of people. It's completely understated and subdued. See, there are multiple
Stealth wealth, okay. He has a vest, sweater, turtleneck, whatever.
variations of quiet luxury.
Quiet luxury, just normal, old money, tux. Why don't they just wear normal clothes? Just get a normal clothes off, just get a normal tux off the rack. It's the same suit, it's the same style. That's what I don't get. It's like quiet luxury versus just wearing normal clothes. Sure, maybe some of them have better shapes that fit your body, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to quality. Some regular clothes have better quality than luxury clothes. It's just a brand, you know?
But the recurring motifs within them are all subtle usage of or no logos, a subdued or
No logos. You might as well just get something normal.
achromatic colour palette, and no flamboyant designs. Of course, there are ways to experiment and play around with these elements and still embody the aesthetic, especially when it comes to embellishments, accessories, and aristocratic colourways, such as gold and silver. But essentially, the aesthetic is about elevating normal clothes to offer an if you know type of distinction. And why is this distinction important to the 1%? Sign value. See, sign value, a term French sociologist Jean Baudrillard coined, functions as the cornerstone of a luxury product. It delves into what an item symbolizes in terms of social, cultural, or personal contexts. In the realm of luxury, sign value stands as the
Okay.
driving force behind the entire industry. It's the literal reason for its existence and success in the modern world. Sign value also reveals why brands situated in the minor league, despite bringing in significantly lower annual revenue than the major league counterparts, might possess symbolic significance equivalent to or even surpassing that of a major league brand. This phenomenon can be attributed to factors and characteristics such as exclusivity, heritage, and craftsmanship that becomes intertwined with the brand's identity. So by choosing to dress in a more understated manner, the 1% adopt a kind of sign value that signals to others that they aren't new money, people who have only recently acquired their wealth. The idea is that new money tends to showcase affluence through flashy displays, often marked by ostentation and conspicuous consumption, in contrast to the
Yeah, it's like when you just get money, you want to show people because you never had it. But the people with money, they had it. It's normal to them. Why would you go around and try to flex normal things? It's like now who goes around and shows everyone your phone? Everyone has a phone. It's not impressive. That's what the ultra wealthy, everyone has money. Why you go around like, yo, I just made $1 million. It doesn't matter to them. They made 2 million last week. You only made 1 million. It doesn't matter to them. But for the lower classes, they're like, yo, I've never seen this before. Like if you go to a different country and you show your brand new iPhone 17, they're gonna be like, yo, what is that? But here, no one really cares because most people have it.
1% tend to prefer a subtler approach, embodying a more restrained sense of style that suggests they come from long-standing generational wealth. This distinction reflects a cultural narrative where old money conveys a sense of tradition, refinement, and social standing, while new money is associated with a more brash and immediate display of wealth.
We were inspired by the Hall of Mirror in Versailles and Donald Trump's bathroom.
That said, despite being considered new money because their wealth doesn't go back generations, members of the LVMH family, who are literally at the helm of almost every major luxury brand in the world, also embrace a simplistic approach
Look at that. No brands in sight. They all look kind of similar. But yeah, no brands in sight. Old money. Subtle.
to style. This underscores 2 points. First, that old money, new money dynamics are less literal than they are a state of mind. And second, that these rigid distinctions do not completely apply to the modern day. Increasingly, uber-rich families and individuals who would be considered new money are adopting characteristics.
I've been going through a bunch of phases since I was growing up. I went from a point of like, yeah, I don't care what I wore. I just wore Air Maxes, cargo pants, whatever t-shirt was on sale. And then I got really into fashion for a while, and I'm like, this is too much work. Then I just dropped it.
Traditionally associated with old money.
But after a while, I'm like, what am I doing? I look like shit. Then I started to pick it up again. And here I am now.
But back to the topic at hand. The 1% don't want Louis Vuitton monograms covering their handbags, and they really don't want Gucci motifs all over their clothing. They intentionally avoid being classed as an overt luxury because they're aiming to convey that they themselves personify wealth. I hinted at this before, but the brands that capture the attention of the 1% can usually find themselves in the minor league. Brunello Cucinelli, Loro Piana, Ralph Lauren, Celine. All these brands fit neatly into the realm of quiet luxury. See, it's not the uber rich carrying the heavyweights of the industry. Most of them purposefully ignore the big designers and brands in fashion. It's the upper middle class doing all that heavy lifting.
I don't get it. It's like if you're getting a t-shirt that's made out of cotton, or let's say you get some dress shirt made out of linen, 100% linen. You get it from Brunello Cucinelli, it's going to be like $1,500. But if you just get it from Temu or something, if you get it from, what's the other one? Uniqlo, they make some good quality. I have some shirts, goes back like at least 8 years, at least, from Uniqlo. It's the same shirt.
And how do we know this?
Fast-breaking developments in the coronavirus emergency in the U.S. and around the world.
Oh yeah, funny how coronavirus came out, government gave out a bunch of money. Guess where that all went? All the people that are bad with money, they spend it on luxury. They just spend it all on clothes. Where's all that money go? Back to LVMH.
World. The number of
Back to the
cases
rich.
soaring just today. More than 24,000 now nationwide.
During the pandemic, while most businesses were grappling with dangerous financial underperformance and the very real possibility of permanent closure, the fashion industry thrived. LVMH's fashion and leather goods units saw a significant 18% increase in sales during the fourth quarter of 2020.
That's insane. People keep asking for money, right? They're like, oh, if I just get this money, it'll set me up. Like, oh, I'll be better with it. But once they get it, they blow it all on bags, shirts, designer shirts, Gucci handbags. You got your chance.
Gucci,
You got your chance and you blew it all.
Kering's crown jewel, delivered revenues of $11 billion, up 31.2% from 2020, exceeding pre-pandemic levels in 2021. Another luxury conglomerate, Richemont, reported sales exceeding
Richmond? Never heard of that.
$6 billion in the company's third quarter of 2021, a performance 38% better than their 2019 Christmas quarter before the pandemic. The industry was experiencing an unprecedented boom. Any guess who was leading this boom? The upper middle class, of course. You see, during the pandemic, a significant portion of the upper middle class indulged in luxury treats with the additional savings.
Okay, upper middle class and lower class, I believe. Because it's always dumb that buys the newest shoes, buys a plastered jacket full of LV, full of Gucci, just to flex. But yeah, I feel like the middle class, once they got the, what's it called, the stimulus check, they're like, oh, it's free money. The poor would at least contemplate like, oh, I should save this for a rainy day. But the middle class, they're like, oh, it's free money. I don't need it now. They want instant gratification. I don't need it now, so I'm going to just use it. I'm going to just spend it. This money is burning a hole in my pocket. I'm going to just spend it.
Things they had in the bank. There was this sense that the world could literally come to an end at any moment, and this uncertainty about the future.
The world could come to an end any moment, so I'm going to spend everything on clothes? Does that make sense?
Led many to believe that living in the moment was imperative. That even when quarantining with only a few friends and family, we had to live every day like it's our last. And what was the result of this YOLO attitude? People started splurging out. You need to keep in mind what our good friends Jean-Jacques Yoni said earlier. Most luxury items from major league brands are not targeted at the uber wealthy upper classes, but instead at the upper middle classes. While I should note that major league brands do offer custom-made to order products exclusively designed for the 1% to request and purchase, such as couture and tailor-made clothing.
Yeah, but just go to a tailor. Just buy normal clothes, go to a tailor. Easy.
The majority of their offerings cater to and are marketed towards the upper middle class and nouveau riche. Are they expensive? I mean, yeah, but are they within reach? Absolutely. Relying solely on selling to the 1% wouldn't be enough to pass that $10 billion mark. It's important to note that when people say the 1% nowadays, it's usually colloquialism for the 0.1%, a very, very small demographic of people in the world. And do you think ambitious brands and conglomerates want to depend solely or even primarily on this demographic to achieve $10 billion goals? No way. It's too risky. But the middle classes, on the other hand, they're the perfect group to rely on. Estimates indicate that the middle...
That's why middle class is stuck. Like the upper rich, dude, they don't really care. And there's so few of them. That's why it's so hard. But the broader you make it, the more people you can get to buy your product, It's safer. That's what he means by risky.
Middle class demographic comprised about 350 million people, more than the entire population of the US. Men and women from the middle classes are the ones purchasing these $3,000 handbags. Men and women from the middle classes are the ones splurging on pieces from the latest Fashion Week collections. They have the financial flexibility to occasionally indulge themselves without compromising their overall financial health. They are the literal lifeline of the modern-day fashion market. And where do the middle class shop when they want to indulge in luxury? The major league, of course. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Most people, even if they don't openly acknowledge it, place high significance on sign value. Only a small percentage of people make luxury purchases without considering the symbolic value attached to that particular.
That's insane. I really don't understand Gucci. Like, I don't understand anyone buying Gucci. It's so tacky. Why do people buy Gucci? They think they're like flexing on everyone, but it looks so tacky.
Luxury item. Imagine you don't have the financial means to consistently splurge on luxury. Instead, you opt to invest in a select few pieces of expensive luxury goods every few months or so. In this scenario, are you more likely to choose a product that clearly signifies its high price point, or would you rather something more obscure, a logoless handbag for example, only recognizable to a specific niche that you'll probably never run into? Chances are you would lean towards the more obvious bag because it'll be easier to rush.
She's definitely paid to hold that and swing it around. There's no one in the right mind doing that normally. Look, it says Louis Vuitton on the top. But I have a theory. It's like they rather buy goods, items, rather than experiences, because they're like, oh, I can wear this like 1,000 times. I can hold this. This will show, I don't know, thousands of people, tens of thousands that I'm rich, rather than just taking the money and buying a plane ticket, traveling, experiences for yourself, or even investing, because no one sees you investing. It's better for other people to think you're rich than to be actually rich. Yeah, it's like you could spend $500 on 5 nights of dinner, or you can spend $500 on a t-shirt, and you could wear that for years, and people think you're rich. So I believe they think it's more value buying a shirt rather than just eating it and it's gone.
And you've probably been conditioned to like.
Here comes the top ramen. Imagine eating top ramen for a year and just rocking your Gucci shirt.
Get more anyway.
How with these products, which people want, maximize the desire? Because our business, you asked a question about luxury. Luxury, for me, is how can you create desire?
This is why most major league luxury brands become less attractive to the elite upper classes who seek exclusivity. They instead gravitate towards more understated brands. Still, for conglomerates, it's all the same. Their market value and revenue increased regardless, and they often have other brands in their portfolio that cater to the needs of both the 1% and the middle class. But remember, that was life during the pandemic. During that epic boom with constant record-breaking highs in the industry. What about now? Yeah, now it's not looking so good. The fashion industry, across nearly every metric, has been struggling to grapple with the post-pandemic world. Although still generating billions, the industry has significantly slowed down this past year, with LVMH experiencing a below-estimated 9% organic revenue growth and being dethroned by drug maker Novo Nordisk at the most valuable company in Europe. Major league brands like Gucci are going through a very public struggle, with the brand's organic sales falling 7% in the third quarter of 2023, worse than the 6.2% expected by analysts. The brand even appointed new creative director Sabato De Sarno, who critiques have noted has taken a considerably less daring approach to Gucci than his predecessor Alessandro Michel. Creative brands in the minor leagues such as Saint Laurent and Balenciaga have also had to grapple with the new reality.
Is that Kim K? Yeah, when a brand falls off, it's so hard to get back up. Like, what was one? It was like Champion. Champion used to be in like Walmart or like some discount stores at like $9. Now, dude, it's expensive. It's like $70 for sweatpants, and it's so tacky. There's this guy at my school. He buys a flashy, like a black shiny puffer that says Champion all over it. I'm like, bro, What are you, a peacock? Why are you showing everyone champion? You're a walking billboard.
reality, with both reportedly experiencing some level of
What's that, Balenciaga? Ain't no way. Huge shoes. Look at the shoes. Huge shoes, no shirt. Where's the shirt? It's on his shoulder. It's pretty nice.
underperformance in the sales this year. But why is this? Why did an industry experiencing so much growth during a pandemic all of a sudden begin to slow down once we emerged from the crisis? Simple. The 1% are still spending, and the middle classes are not. Middle class populations have begun to cut back on luxury spending, opting instead to save money and uniformly limit expenditures on non-essentials. They are also delaying major purchases such as homes and cars, redirecting more money into savings amid rising levels of inflation and the global cost of living crisis. Bloomberg reports that this shift in behavior is occurring on a global scale, affecting China, America, and Europe, all massive markets for the luxury industry. This trend explains the declines and underperformances seen from the major league brands relying on middle-class spending. But, as you've probably already guessed, the brands not recording underperformances are predominantly from the latter category of the minor class. Brunello Cucinelli, Ermenegildo Zegna, Loro Piana, Loewe. None of these brands have faltered in the post-pandemic
Can't even pronounce those names. Those are too tough.
era. In fact, some of them even reported record earnings. Brunello Cucinelli, for example, not only jumped a solid 27.5% in revenues during the second quarter of 2023, but also upgraded their revenue forecast for the third time last October because of this immense growth. Because these brands are attractive to the billionaire population, who are unfazed by concerns of inflation or costs of living, they continue to ride the money wave while their big brother brands struggle to navigate the oceans.
Okay, it could be the 1%. But the most recent trend I saw is old money style. So it might be just people from Gucci, people from LV. They're like, oh, I don't want to be new money. Because it looks like I don't have money showing off that I have Gucci, I have LV. So they're transitioning. They're like, oh, this doesn't convey status anymore. Let me shift to old money. So all those middle class, they move to Brunello Cucinelli, which has more status now. It's like, oh, he's wearing old money. He must have money, but it's just a shift in, audience? Buyers?
In addition to the minor league brands appealing to the 1%, there are also a few major league anomalies thriving in the post.
All right, what do you say? 27.5% increase in sales? There's no way billionaires, like ultra wealthy, are buying that much more clothes. You know how much clothes that is? It's like, look, you maybe buy clothes for a year. There's no way. Well, unless they throw it out, but why would you do that? It's like, there's only so much clothes you would buy. Why would you buy that much clothes? It just doesn't make sense. It's definitely a shift in market, like shift in customers, clients, shift in clients.
Pandemic landscape. One of these anomalies is French luxury brand Hermès. Despite undoubtedly being a major league player, the house has achieved insane financial success, raking in $12 billion in annual revenue last year. Their ability to preserve a level of selectiveness gives them sign value that's hard to find in most major league fashion brands, sign value that's usually only reserved for the niche minor league brands. With all that being said, quiet luxury doesn't appear to be so quiet anymore. TikTok videos, Instagram
Look at that. Everyone's shifting to old money.
posts, and general discourse about quiet luxury, old money, stealth wealth, and other variations of its kind have been on the rise for a while now. This surge has prompted people from all demographics to try to emulate the style, whether that's the small minority of the upper middle class that still sporadically indulge in luxury switching to more niche brands, or the broader population opting for fast fashion dupes in an attempt to mirror the 1%. Remember when I mentioned the Brunello Cucinelli and some other minor league brands were achieving record sales? This is undoubtedly because some in the middle class who are willing to take on a risk and splurge may be shifting their preferences towards this new sign value. You just can't help but...
That's what I just said. And I do have a story of sign value. I actually tried sign value back then. I just balled out on all designer brands, but I'll tell you that at the end.
Wonder, is it just a matter of time before we witness a resistance of this style among the uber rich? Could they abandon minimalism for something more dramatic in reaction to the once quiet style no longer maintaining its hushed demeanor? Only time will tell.
Yeah, look at everyone. If everyone is wearing that, it's no longer was it desired. Like here, the story of me falling out and buying a bunch of designer. It's a bunch of times, but it was start of college, start of university. I'll go in and you would try to network, right? All the internationals from other overseas, they're insanely wealthy. But well, it depends, right? For them to come here, it's significantly more expensive than for us to go to college. They pay international fees. Sometimes they pay, what's it called? They pay these companies to sponsor them. Like they'll apply for them, they'll get them in, they'll set everything up for them, and it costs a lot of money. But when they come over, they're dripped out in designer, newest clothes all the time, newest Balenciaga, or the top brands they wear. Newest Balenciaga, newest LV trainers, Balenciaga, what are those big ass, those huge shoes. Yeah, they wear those. I think Givenchy, Celine, Moncler, but you can kind of tell because some of them, huge logos, like the whole logo is the whole back of the shirt. Like the Moncler icon, dude, it's the whole back of the shirt. That's definitely new money. It's like why would you want to show off like that? And it is most colleges, they're in like bad parts of town. I'm surprised they wear all those. But I would try to talk to them. Right? They don't care. They're like, look at this American. He's broke. And I was like, let me try something. So I bought one outfit, then another, then another, then another. But it was just all designer. Loud as I can be. More flamboyant as I can be. And what happened? They started talking to me. Because it's that sign value he was talking about. I was thinking of it as like status. Yeah, status plays a role. They're like, oh, he's dripped down designer. He's one of my kind. One of my kind, the richer. But I was like, yeah, I thought it was a good idea. But most of these students, they come over. They don't care. They just swipe daddy's credit card. They don't care. But that was truly a mistake. I still have the clothes. And I'm slowly getting rid of them. It's like, it gets worn in. Or like worn out. And I just throw it out. And I'm like, alright. Never do that again. But yeah, that will sum it off. That will sum it up for today. Why rich people don't wear luxury. Because it's the same thing. Now I started buying $10 t-shirts again. Now I start buying clearance items. Because it's the same thing. Why do you need to flex? Like, why do you need to overspend? Some people say like, oh, it's the feeling you get. It's the same material. That feeling is manufactured by marketing, well, no, that's the same thing. Marketing, advertising, brand perception. So if you get 100% cotton, Egyptian cotton, let me think of something extremely fancy. Let's say I get genuine leather, right? One is from, I don't know, one is from LV, or no, Ferragamo. They make pretty good dress shoes. One is from Ferragamo, another one's from, it's kind of tough, another one's from Amazon. They're both genuine leather. Quality is there. Leather is leather. One just has an insanely huge brand. The other one, there's no brand. There's a slight markup for company's profit, but there's no insane margin for them to profit off on. Like, for example, you can buy a suit, thousands of dollars. There's one store, I forgot what it was called. It was like Sakai. Their suits are like $2,000. How much are suits overseas? Like, go to Vietnam, you get a custom suit for like $50. Same material, made out of silk, made out of whatever you want. Same material, just one is insanely marked up for profit. Capitalism, greed. But yeah, that will sum it up for today. Why rich people don't wear luxury.